Imagine this. If death isn't the end but just the start of another cycle, would you still see life the same way? Late at night when everything's quiet, have you ever wondered what really lies at the end of life? After all that darkness, could a new dawn be waiting for us? This mystery has fascinated wise minds and captivated adventurers for ages. And today, we're about to crack open a legendary, long-forgotten, mysterious book, the Forbidden Book of Rebirth. This book, known as the taboo beyond life and death, is said to hold the ultimate secret of reincarnation. Rumor has it that fragments of it were discovered in the cellar of an ancient monastery, yellowed parchment covered in cryptic symbols and mysterious writings, almost like a tale from another world, a realm only the dead can enter, a secret path linking life and death. So why hasn't it become widely known? In fact, it was banned by both the church and royalty, and anyone caught studying or spreading it faced severe punishment. What secret does this forbidden book hide that has kept authorities over the centuries so tight-lipped? Could it really be, as the rumors claim, that it lets us catch a glimpse of the mysteries of reincarnation and maybe even find a way to break the cycle of life and death? Tonight on our show, we're setting out on a journey to uncover the mystery behind the Forbidden Book of Rebirth. Get ready, because we're about to dive deep into this hidden realm of taboos, searching for a glimmer of truth in the darkness. Legend has it that this forbidden book dates back to ancient civilizations thousands of years ago. Some say its earliest fragments were carved into the walls of Egyptian pharaohs' tombs, while others claim that its roots can be found in the ancient Indian Upanishads. Throughout history, the secret wisdom of the life-death cycle has always flickered in the background. Greek philosophers believed in reincarnation, and Eastern mystics searched for the mystery of an undying spirit. These seemingly unrelated stories all seem to piece together bits of a long-forgotten truth. Some scholars even speculate that the Forbidden Book of Rebirth is a grand compilation of these ancient insights. It wasn't the work of one person, but the product of generations of reclusive sages, adding their own chapters along the way. Throughout history, the trail of this forbidden book has been hard to follow. Legend has it that the Library of Alexandria once kept scrolls about reincarnation, but they were lost in a huge fire. Early on, some Christian Gnostic groups were said to have possessed gospels that detailed multiple reincarnations of the soul, yet a church council in the 6th century declared them heretical and wiped them out. In the Middle Ages, European alchemists and occult scholars secretly passed around a few surviving manuscript pages, all of which mention the trials of the cycle of life. Once word got out, the Inquisition would burn anyone caught with them as a heretic. There's a similar legend in the East. Back in the Tang Dynasty, a Taoist priest got hold of a secret scroll on life and death from a respected monk from the western regions. It detailed how the soul could leave the body and be reborn. The emperor was alarmed by this discovery, deeming it forbidden knowledge, and ordered the scroll burned. The Taoist priest then vanished without a trace. Folk tales about reincarnation have been passed down through generations, from stories of Mungpo soup to the Naihe Bridge. These legends seem to echo fragments of that lost text, making many wonder if the Forbidden Book of Rebirth still survives in some form among the people. During the Renaissance, Europe saw a renewed interest in ancient mysticism. Some records even claim that Latin or Sanskrit fragments found in noble collections actually came from this very book. Even the notebooks of masters like Da Vinci feature symbols that seem to hint at reincarnation, leading many to wonder if he had encountered this knowledge. In the 19th century, Western explorers and mystics traveled far and wide in search of spiritual texts. There's even a rumor that Russian mystic Madame Blavatsky came across an ancient scroll called the Book of Life while in Tibet, its contents bearing an uncanny resemblance to the Forbidden Book of Rebirth. To this day, this forbidden ancient book remains shrouded in mystery, and no complete version has ever been shown to the public. All that survives are scattered fragments, broken excerpts, and even some sensational curse stories. Rumor has it that secret groups are still guarding copies of it, hidden away in secret rooms in the Vatican or tucked away in Himalayan hermitages. Why is this book so important that various forces either hide it away or suppress it? Maybe it's because it spans across civilizations and ties together countless mysteries, making it all the more enigmatic. Once you learn about its origins, you can't help but wonder, what exactly does it record? Now let's open up this forbidden book and dive into the core secrets of death, rebirth, and the soul's journey. Opening the forbidden book feels like stepping into a journey of the soul. We see a recently departed spirit standing at the boundary between life and death, with its cold body lying behind and a dark tunnel unfolding ahead. At the tunnel's end, a gentle glow breaks through, like the first light of dawn in the middle of night. Confused yet drawn by an irresistible pull, the soul moves toward that light. With every step, the glow grows brighter, and fragments of memories swirl around him. Childhood laughter, youthful promises, regrets of old age. These memories gather at the tunnel's end to form a starry panorama that reflects the sum of his life. The book states, death isn't the end, it's the cradle of the soul's rebirth. In that moment, death is portrayed as a threshold that must be crossed. Only by moving beyond it can the soul enter the next stage. Once he passes through the door of light, he finds himself in a mysterious realm where physical boundaries vanish and only pure consciousness remains. This place, called the intermediate realm in the book, is much like the spirit world depicted in many traditions. Here, the soul must face a deep inner judgment and purification. Before him appears a set of scales. On one side, his lifetime of good deeds, and on the other, the weight of his sins. It's a scene reminiscent of the Egyptian myth where the heart is weighed against a feather. Only by shedding the heavy burden of karma can the soul continue its journey. And so, the traveler undergoes a series of inner trials, confronting and confessing his mistakes, mending his regrets, and letting go of his attachments to the material world. With each act of repentance and release, his soul seems to shed an old layer of darkness, growing ever lighter and more radiant. After his purification trial, he found himself in a peaceful field bathed in light, a place the book calls the soul's resting place, a brief haven before reincarnation. Here he felt the call of new life. In the distance, a swirling gate of reincarnation appeared, and he could faintly hear the cries of a baby and the pulse of life beyond. Realizing that he was about to embark on the next leg of his journey, he silently vowed to keep learning and make up for his past mistakes in his next life. Before he set off, a mysterious guardian spirit handed him a cup of oblivion. Once he drank it, his old memories melted away like morning mist. Finally, with a strong sense of purpose, he leaped through that gate, stepping into a brand new life journey. This soul parable sends a clear message. Death isn't the opposite of life. It's a crucial part of the soul's journey of growth. Every physical ending is an opportunity for the soul to be reborn, a trial that elevates our consciousness. It brings to mind the image of a phoenix rising from its ashes or a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. The old self dies in darkness, making way for a new self to be born in the light. The book's insight offers us a fresh perspective on death, revealing that every ending is really just the beginning of another life. The book contains some apparent contradictions and subtle hints that really make you think. For example, one passage stresses that a soul's destiny is entirely governed by the chain of cause and effect, as if everything is already predetermined. Yet another chapter explains that before reincarnation, a soul has the freedom to choose its trial, deciding for itself what lessons to learn in the next life. At first glance, this seems like a clash between fate and free will. In reality, it highlights one of life's great paradoxes. While our experiences are influenced by past karma, our present choices can also shape the future. In other words, fate and free will aren't opposites. They intertwine like a double helix, creating the unique path of each life. This message reminds us that we must both recognize the power of cause and effect and take responsibility for our choices. Another contradiction revolves around forgetting versus awakening. The book describes how, before being reborn, a soul drinks a water of oblivion, leaving it with no memory of its past life. Yet it also hints that a very few awakened souls can refuse to forget, carrying memories from multiple lifetimes into their next existence. It's said that this ability grants the soul immense wisdom, but it also comes with a heavy psychological burden. This suggests a deeper message. Perhaps forgetting is a kind mercy that lets most people start fresh in their new lives, while retaining complete memory is a gift that only those with the highest level of spiritual cultivation can handle. Different spiritual traditions differ on this point. Some believe that embracing oblivion is wise, while others advocate for seeking total spiritual awakening, even if it means confronting all the truths of past lives. Because the book is packed with layers of meaning, readers from different cultures interpret it in their own ways. In the East, where the idea of reincarnation is second nature, people readily see the book as a vivid illustration of reincarnation and karma. Meanwhile, Western Christian traditions view reincarnation as taboo and heretical. Medieval scholars, if they had read it, would have taken rebirth to mean a spiritual renewal or symbolic resurrection, not literal reincarnation, and the church would have banned and burned it. On the flip side, Western mystics embraced the text, using alchemical and occult symbols to decode its metaphors, seeing the soul's journey as a sign of inner awakening, each death and rebirth marking a leap in consciousness. In modern times, the ideas in this book have had a profound impact on spiritual exploration. As Eastern philosophy made its way to the West, more and more people have begun to accept and explore the concepts of reincarnation and karma. Since the 20th century, parapsychologists and scientists have studied past life memories and near-death experiences, lending support to the book's descriptions. Increasingly, people believe that life isn't confined to just one lifetime, so they focus more on spiritual growth and moral responsibility. Many have even used hypnosis to recall past life memories, and near-death experiences have reinforced the idea that the soul is immortal. These investigations echo the ancient texts, and what was once considered taboo has slowly entered the mainstream. Today, more people are trying to weave this wisdom into their everyday lives, constantly reflecting on the true meaning of life and death. Ancient wisdom only really shows its value when we bring it into our everyday lives. The ideas in the Forbidden Book of Rebirth might sound mysterious and out there, but they can actually help us face life and death with a more open and aware attitude. In real life, we can draw on its insights, doing some spiritual practices and making lifestyle tweaks to make our soul's journey richer and more meaningful. Here are a few practical ways to put the book's wisdom to work in our daily routine. Practice death meditation to value the present. Try taking some quiet time to reflect on how life is limited and to face the reality of death. This isn't about being negative. It's about really understanding how precious every day is. Many spiritual traditions have meditations that focus on confronting death, like imagining your life on a countdown, reminding you not to waste your time. Once you truly accept that death is inevitable, you'll start cherishing everything in the here and now and living each day with purpose. Do a regular life review. Just as the soul in the in-between realm looks back on its life, we can mimic that process in our daily routine. Every night before bed, or on a weekly basis, take a moment to reflect on your actions, what good deeds you want to keep doing, and which mistakes you need to fix or make up for. This kind of proactive review helps you course correct, ease regrets, and avoid carrying unnecessary karmic baggage into the future. Create a personal, symbolic rebirth ritual. Many cultures have rituals that symbolize rebirth, and you can design a simple personal one too. For instance, on your birthday or New Year's, light a candle and reflect on your old self. Then blow it out as a way to say goodbye to your past. Next, light a new candle. Envision a new you being born and set fresh intentions for the future. When that new light shines, it's like a mini rebirth for your spirit. Through these practices, we can turn complex insights about life and death into a practical guide for everyday living, keeping our spiritual awareness alive amid the hustle and bustle of daily life. That said, it's important to steer clear of some pitfalls when using these methods. First, don't get so caught up in fantasies about past or future lives that you lose touch with the here and now, and don't treat cause and effect as an unchangeable fate that lets you just sit back and wait. Instead, actively create positive actions. After all, every choice you make is shaping your future. Next, stay rational and discerning. Be wary of scams or extreme ideas on the spiritual path, and avoid falling into blind faith or needless fear. Finally, remember that the goal of spiritual practice isn't to escape your real-world responsibilities, but to give you greater courage and wisdom to embrace life as it is. Cutting through the mist of forbidden lore, it feels like we're standing on a high ridge at the edge of life and death, looking at existence from an entirely new perspective. As the mysterious truth gradually comes to light, we start to understand that death isn't a terrifying end. It's just a necessary gateway to another journey. The secrets of life and death, once shrouded in taboo, have now become a source of comfort and strength, helping us face life's cycles with more calm and reverence. Life is like day turning into night. The day fades, the night falls, but a new dawn always breaks, and every ending holds the promise of a fresh start. Perhaps what this forbidden book ultimately wants to tell us is that each of us is actually writing our own book of rebirth. Every decision we make, every moment of insight is a new chapter in our soul's story. In this way, we all become the authors of our own fate, continually seeking to elevate our spirit through the cycles of life and death. In the end, we discover that the so-called forbidden secret has always been within us. If we have the courage to seek it, we can all find our own answers. Now it's your turn to reflect. What unique views do you have on death and rebirth? Do you believe that the soul's journey continues after the body fades away? Feel free to share your thoughts or stories in the comments. Maybe there isn't a single right answer, but that's exactly what makes this topic so worth exploring. Perhaps one question or insight of yours will spark an amazing discussion. Let's delve into this timeless, mysterious subject together and keep the conversation about life going. Remember, the journey of discovery doesn't end here. Your own chapter in the Forbidden Book of Rebirth is still being written.